Hi, and welcome to the show. Move to Improve is a show about aging with attitude. I'm Susie, and as we age, it becomes apparent that we need fitness more now than ever. But the good news is, we have the power within ourselves to actually relieve and sometimes even prevent different diseases and ailments that come along. And we do that through exercise and movement. I don't want us to worry about things that we have no control over. We're going to focus on things that we do have control over and how we can make improvements on those. So in order to get fit or to stay fit, we need to know what fitness is so that we can set some goals. And a general definition of fitness would be to be able to get a good night's rest, get up, have the energy to get through your day, go to work, take care of the grandkids, whatever you're doing, and still at the end of the day, you have time for your hobby or your exercises, your movement, and that's what it's all about. It's just being able to enjoy your life to the fullest as we age. So today, I brought with me 5 components of fitness, and we're going to try to work those into our daily routine. So the first component, I'm going to need you to come up to a standing position. So just get comfortable. We're in my home gym, so nothing fancy here. You're going to see me in my old workout clothes. So just come up to standing and we'll get started. Inhale up and exhale. Stand tall. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let your arms go with your legs and march. And you can slow this down a little bit if you want. You can speed it up, whatever feels good to you. But this is cardio, our first component of fitness. And cardio has a huge impact on the health of your lungs and your heart. As you can tell by now, your heart rate is up. I can feel mine starting to go up. So we're actually pumping more blood and oxygen to our heart and lungs and all the other tissues in our body. Keep your hands loose. Don't squeeze them. You're just marching. We can slow it down a little. So as you're doing cardio, you're actually increasing the space for oxygen in your lungs. You're expanding your lungs. You're toning your lungs and your heart. That's amazing. So we need to do cardio, and cardio's fun anyway. You can just dance. Maybe you've got the smooth moves like I do here. Got it going on. But if you do this, move around and get that heart rate up to where you feel like you're starting to sweat, and that's how I'm starting to feel right now. Do that 2 times per day for maybe 10 minutes, most days of the week. You're going to notice a big improvement. In fact, I feel so good right now that I'm ready for the second component of fitness. The second component of fitness is resistance training. We can either use our body weight or we can use weights. But more exercise equals more independence throughout our lives. And resistance training helps us with freedom of movement because we're building muscle, toning muscle evenly. And it helps with brain function and posture. It's just, it's really important. And I brought a couple exercises with me today that I think are some of the top exercises that you need to be doing. The first one is squats. Now, you can you can hold on to a chair, and I'll just turn a little bit here so you can see. When I sit back, I'm trying to sit back so that my toes are beyond my knees. My knees aren't out here. I don't want to squat like that. I've seen that a lot, and that's hard on the knees. So just go down as far, if you can only go this far and staying, with your knees behind your toes, that's totally fine. So we're squeezing the glutes on the way up and the hamstrings, and my toes are spread inside my shoes or holding onto the floor. And I'm inhaling through the nose on the way down, and then I'm exhaling and squeezing the legs and the glutes. And when I come up, I actually squeeze my shoulder blades together a little bit too. But this is inhale down and exhale up. And I can come this way a little bit, and you can see inhaling down and exhaling up. And inhale. Now this is a really important exercise, but just as important is safety in the exercise. That's why I have a couple weights sitting on the chair. Otherwise the chair might flip back, and that's never good. So, and also form is really good. So think about having everything even, hips, knees, ankles, shoulders back, hold onto your chair, and inhale and exhale. Now I need to look up or look forward and exhale up. And if you want to, you can take your arms out and then bring them back up. But that's the squat. You need that squat throughout your life, just for getting out of bed, getting out of chairs. And in fact, that's another thing you can do. You can sit in a chair and come up maybe 10 times. Just sit down and come up in a really, proper form with the knees behind the toes and come up. Next is the plank for upper body. And we can start on the floor, and then I'll show you a modification. But when I get down onto the floor, I'll have my arms straight. My stomach's going to be sucked in. And I'll be in good posture like this while I'm in the plank. That's what it's going to look like on the floor. So let's come on down safely. And I'm just going to make a nice wide palm and step one foot back at a time. Now, I'm not letting my shoulder blades go down like this. I'm pushing through the heels of my hands, and I'm straightening my arms, and then I lift up. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm pushing through the heels of my feet. If you can look at my shoes, I'm pushing back, and that's actually stretching my calves. It feels really good after those squats. And just hold it there. Keep your head in line with your spine. You're going to have a straight line from the crown of your head all the way through your tailbone. Now there's another way to do this. Bring your knees down. We're going to come down to our forearms. So we come down here and we line up. Stomach sucks in. Lower your body just enough so that you're not up, you're not sagging down, you're right in the middle. Push through those heels, keep breathing. This is another way. Okay, come on down to your knees. Now we have like a stairway or a box that you can use to modify, to make it a little bit easier. If you go up the stairs a little bit more, maybe up here, it'll be easier than this. So you can start with these, but if you notice, I'm in the same position that I was when I was on the floor. I'm not here, I'm not there, I'm in the middle. I'm breathing. You can probably hear me breathing, pushing through the heels and pushing through the heels of my feet and the heels of my hands so that my shoulder blades are wide. Oh, this feels good. Okay, bring one foot in, the other, and then kind of stay there for a minute. Put your hands on your thighs, then roll yourself up. That feels good. So that's resistance. The third component of fitness is flexibility, also known as stretching or range of motion. So let's start with a basic side stretch. We'll take an inhale up, grab your wrist, and exhale as you reach over. Now while I'm over here, I'm pushing into the floor with my foot same side as I'm reaching because I want to make opposition in the stretch. I want to feel the muscles stretching as I exhale. Then inhale back up and exhale down. We'll take it to the other side. Feet are hip width apart and you're standing nice and tall. Inhale up, grab onto your wrist, and exhale, pushing down with this foot into the floor. Oh, that feels good. Don't force it, no bouncing, just a nice release on your side. And come on back up. Now we're going to put one foot back and one foot forward. I'll show you this here and then I'll turn sideways. This is kind of a double whammy because the foot that's back, that leg, you're stretching the hip flexor right here. And when you are seated a lot, this tightens up. It just kind of goes into like a 90-degree there. So this stretches it. And at the same time, we're going to be turning over in the direction of the leg that's in front, and they're both knees are slightly bent. And form is really important. That's why I'm taking the time to go over this. We'll inhale and then we'll exhale as we make the turn. And you'll see your hips are facing forward. Both of them are facing forward. You're not twisted or anything like that. So I'm going to come to the side and I'll step one foot back and one foot forward. Now, if this is too much, you can always bring your foot forward. So position where you feel comfortable. And you can also be holding onto the chair. And as I'm standing here, I'm kind of dropping my knee down slightly. And I'm stretching that. And I want to come up here and inhale and then exhale and look behind me. Now this might take some balance. You might have to hold on to a chair, and that's fine, or the wall. And then come back to center. So let's try that on the other side. So we'll put one foot forward and one back, and they're slightly bent. Now, you can see the hip flexor here is bent. That's like when we're seated on the couch. But over here, it's nice and stretched. It feels really good, especially after sitting for a long time if you have that type of a job. So, or if you like to watch movies. Okay, so we start here, and we're stretching the hip flexor. Come on up here, inhale, and as you exhale, you look behind you because you want to keep this range of motion. You want to be able to look behind you like this. That's torso rotation. And you'll come back up to center. Let's try that again. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're just coming around and just looking around. And then you come back. The fourth component of fitness is balance. And balance is a key factor in leading an active life. As we age, sometimes balance declines, and one reason is muscle loss. And we already took care of that in resistance, so we're doing that. But we'll practice balance for self-confidence and well-being. So the most basic thing to start with would be standing on one foot. So I'm going to hold on to the chair, and you want to spread your toes. That's why I took my shoes off, give my feet a break, and it helps with a wider base, be able to spread your toes. That will help with balance. So stand tall and bring the other leg up, and you're still holding onto the chair, and you might feel a little shaky. And stay there until you feel that you can take your hand off, maybe for a few seconds, maybe, a little longer, and then do the other side. And you don't want to forfeit posture for standing on one foot. So if I'm standing like this and I'm like that, that's not what I want. I want to keep upright and gaze at a spot away from you, and it helps you focus. And try to lift the chest there. You'll find your balance. And release. So that's really good. And you should practice that, daily, because falls become more commonplace also as time goes on. So we want to be prepared to catch ourselves and keep our balance. Another thing to do is just stand here and bring your thumb up, and don't let your head follow your thumb, and just breathe. Everything we're doing, we're continuing the breath, but I'm looking at my thumb, but my head's not moving. And then I'm going to exhale back. Good. Now this time, I'm going to go ahead and look at my thumb. And I'm just looking and breathing. And believe it or not, this does help with your balance. And exhale back. You can do it nice and slow. If you've ever had vertigo, you know what I'm talking about. You have to work on balance. So bring the thumb up on the other side and let the thumb go, and you see it in your peripheral vision, and you're looking, and then bring it back. You're breathing. My head really wants to turn with that one. So let's take the head with the thumb. So stand tall. Remember, don't forfeit your posture, your form. Inhale and take it around. I'm following it and I'm breathing. I'm standing tall. And then exhale and come on back. And there are many ways to challenge our balance, and those are just a couple. And finally, the fifth component of fitness. I'm going to show you correct posture. So I'm going to come to the side, and I know we talked about posture through the whole show, through each component, and it really is important, and it's involved in everything you do. So standing posture, I would, kind of pretend I'm standing against a wall, have my head up, my feet are hip width apart, even pressure on all four sides of my foot. And then I'm against a wall, shoulders back, and then just walk away from the wall, turn around. And it might feel odd at first because you might be leaning off to the side. Do you ever see people like that? They're kind of like that, or maybe hunched over a little bit. So we're going to work on those things with these 5 components. But posture is really important. So think about lifting up through the stomach, through the chest, all the way through the top of your head, and just taking the shoulders back, shaking it out. Knees are slightly soft. You're looking forward. There's your posture. And it's easy to practice posture because if you're in a store, in a line, or something like that, just go into your posture pose. And I'll tell you a couple other things about posture. Studies show that people will kind of perceive you as someone not to try to get over on. And there's a lot of that going on these days. So posture makes you look strong, confident, lets everything inside of you work the way it's supposed to. You're Your spine has so many nerves coming out of it, and this is just a wonderful thing to do to and for your body. Is just to practice good posture and keep breathing, and it just feels so good. Breathe through all of your exercises.